Good afternoon and welcome to Not Tonight. I'm Eleanor Rice.
And I'm Jess Percival.
Coming up on the show, we have a look at the potential upgrade to Gedling Country Park, how a new law for microchipping your dog can ensure safety, and a revamp of Nottingham's iconic castle.
But first, it may seem strange that a rise in crime is being treated as good news, but Nottinghamshire police say it means more people are reporting crime and that confidence in the police is increasing. Savannah Holmes went to investigate.
Overall, crime in Nottingham has taken a welcomed drop in the past year. However, violent and sexual offences have increased by 9%.
What's actually happened is there's been a big change in the way we have to record it, which has meant that every police force, including Nottinghamshire, has had to record more violent crimes. I'll give you a couple of examples if you want them. So if somebody rings the police and says there's a fight in the street and the police arrive and nobody's there, we still have to crime that as a violent crime.
The rise in violence and sexual crimes is proof that the public of Nottingham are showing more trust in our police force. In the past year, there's been roughly 700 less burglaries, whilst antisocial behaviour reports fell by almost 1,700, which is a big drop in figures for Nottingham.
So I think there's a huge amount of those sexual crimes are actually historic crimes. If you were to say, you know, have indecent assaults, rapes and things gone on this year, that there is no real change in that. So I think it's an increase in reporting of live crimes that are happening because I think there's an increase in confidence that police and other agencies will deal with them. But there's also a big historic number of crimes that have gone on this year's books, if you like.
I was walking home from town one night up to my mum's house and two lads on a motorbike jumped off the bike, followed me up the street and I could obviously tell that something was wrong. So I carried on walking and one of them pushed me from behind and I hit my head on the floor, and before I knew it, two more had come out of a party that was happening on my mum's street and proceeded to assault me. After the incident they helped me, I suppose. They like I say, they made arrests and did what they needed to do there and then. I was offered support afterwards, but I chose not to take it, but I was offered it, yeah. But I didn't take it.
If you've been a witness or a victim of a sexual offence and are in need of help, please contact Victim Support on 0845 3030 900.
Today's news that up to 500 people may have died in the Mediterranean whilst trying to get to Italy highlights the importance of issues like refugees and human rights. Campaigners Amnesty International held their annual conference in Nottingham. Their message: even though these events may be happening thousands of miles away, it still involves us all.
Campaigning for a world where human rights are enjoyed by all, more than 500 activists attended Amnesty International's national conference at the University of Nottingham. It brought Amnesty members together from around the UK to inspire, motivate and make important decisions.
Here in the UK we have over 600,000 members, supporters and activists, and today we'll see over 500 of those members arrive in Nottingham to spend a weekend planning and talking about our campaigns. So the campaign on refugees is massively important. We've been campaigning against torture, we've been campaigning against early forced marriage in many parts of the world, and for many individuals who have ended up in prison for no reason other than what they think.
A number of topics were on the agenda, including the refugee crisis, the EU and the arms trade, and many more. With over 7 million members and supporters around the world, Amnesty draws attention to all aspects of human rights abuses and campaigns for compliance. The event was an opportunity to learn and to share skills, knowledge and experiences with other members, international guests and speakers.
Locally, Amnesty continues to inspire. The Nottingham Amnesty Group has worked tirelessly in supporting campaigns, raising funds and representing Amnesty in the local community. Members of the Nottingham branch are keen to encourage local support.
If they can do something, even from sitting at home or on their computer, or going to groups, or coming to an event like this, or signing up to things which are online, and there's a lot of things that Amnesty does now for people to do online and work with others in different ways than just meeting face to face, then it's very, very important so that we can get everybody to have the same sort of rights, whoever they are, wherever they are and wherever they've come from.
Animal experts have welcomed a new law which makes it easier for lost dogs to be returned home. All dogs across the UK must be microchipped by the time they're 8 weeks old. As Melanie Carballo reports, one owner for the new law meant a quick reunion with her lost pet.
This is Biscuit, a 2-year-old family dog who ran away from home. His owners were left devastated. Lucky for them, Biscuit had a microchip, a tiny injected device containing the necessary information to find his owners. As from the 6th of April, all dogs must be microchipped by law.
This was a really traumatic time for all of us until out of the blue we got a phone call from the local rescue centre. To our surprise, they actually had all of Biscuit's details. They asked us to come down to the centre, so we did, and upon arrival they showed us the scanning results from the chip, and it did prove indeed that it was Biscuit and that they had found him.
Over 200,000 dogs have been found by the local authorities in the past year. This means 345 dogs are found every day. Research has found that 54% of dog owners whose dogs aren't microchipped will refuse to do so due to the cost.
To have your dog microchipped by a vet will cost you anything around £15 to £20. However, some dog rescue centres like Jerry Green offer the service for a donation as little as £5.
Still microchipping dogs. There's still people that have gone over the date of where the dog should be microchipped, and that's to be expected. But as long as you get your dog microchipped, if you don't do it and you do get found out by the authorities that your dog isn't chipped, you still get 21 days to do it anyway, so you've got a good leeway in there.
However, there is some opposition to microchipping. Critics argue that microchips can cause cancerous tumours and other diseases. But these results only apply to 10% of tested animals. Another issue is the movement of the chip. Over time, some dog owners have claimed to have found it in the tail or the legs. But the enforced law means those owners who don't microchip their pets will face a £500 fine.
Although some people don't agree with having their dogs microchipped, the government believe this new law will help more lost dogs like Biscuit find their way home. Melanie Carballo, CBJ News.
Virtual reality is making a comeback in Nottingham. The 90s saw video gamers travelling to Nottingham's Legend Quest arcade in Hockley for a virtual reality experience. Decades later, Nottingham's National Video Game Arcade have their own top-of-the-line virtual reality exhibition. Earlier, we spoke with a National Video Game Arcade crew member, Jason Dewey, who told us about the demographic they get through the doors.
We usually get a lot of young people, a lot of families as well, families with young children, kind of under 10s, quite a few teenagers coming in as well, teenagers coming in groups, but mainly families with children.
Okay, and so what's the reception been so far at the Video Game Arcade? What people have been saying about it?
Almost universally positive. Everyone comes out of it having an absolutely amazing time, and it's really, really immersive for them. They are 100% believe that they are in that environment, from young kids 6 or 7 all the way to 40, 50-year-old dads.
Wow. So I believe this is called a Google Cardboard?
This is a Google Cardboard.
So can you explain a little bit how this is working?
Well, it reduces virtual reality to its core concept. So you have the screen, which is your phone.
Yeah.
And then you have the lenses, which focus your screen to your eyes.
Okay.
And then the phone uses its accelerometer and 3D sensors in order to track the movement onto your app.
Okay,
so I think
cool.
you've got your phone on you.
I've got my app. Right. Yep, we've got the app. Let's go find this. Right. So, ooh. Here we go.
That's it.
This is exciting.
I know. It's so great that you can get consumer versions to bring home, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive to buy a full kit, but if you can get something small and easy to use, that's great.
So you can buy this one at the National Video Game Arcade, I believe, right?
Yes, I believe it's £10.99.
Okay.
Not bad.
Let me just pop that on.
Thank you. Yeah, this is really cool. So, what can I see? There is a sunset, we can see mountains, we can see trees, everything just... Okay, you have to have a try. How cool is that?
Oh, that's great. There's like a mountain. I'm hoping that's an animal on top. That's great.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Fab. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jason. It's been really interesting to talk to you about this.
You're very welcome.
If you would like to experience virtual reality, then head on down to the National Video Game Arcade. It's open Friday to Sunday on Carlton Street.
Next up, spring is finally in the air and it's time for us to sit in our gardens and enjoy the sunshine. But for some people, it's the busiest time of the year, and out in the fields, new life is being born. Llama Christina has been down on the farm to see what's happening.
Joyful laughter that every parent wants to hear. After a few months of miserable weather, spring is in its full bloom, and with that, baby lambs, chicks and little piglets are out to play. Fairy Farm offers a hands-on experience with the farm animals, and lamb feeding is highly popular amongst all age groups.
We like coming and petting the animals, and I think it's quite nice on a farm because a lot of them are used to being handling, so they enjoy being petted. So, you kind of feel more of a bond with them than if you see an animal in like a zoo or a safari park.
The family-run farm employs around 25 part-time and 4 full-time staff. Some of them are students like Ella, who hopes to be a vet one day.
I've always grown up around them, so it's always been a big part of my life, and I've always wanted for them to be in it. Although it can get hectic at times, it's sort of soothing to be around animals, I think, and it's fun. It's better than being stuck behind a desk.
Go-karts, tractors and more. The owners of the farm have thought about all aspects of a nice family day out.
Somebody goes away from here feeling I've relaxed, I've chilled out, there isn't that intensity, that getting stressed. I mean, on a busy day when they're queuing at the counter, you feel guilty because, you don't know if a member of staff is going to be off sick, so there is going to be a wait. But we do our best to make sure that people have a good chilled out day and that they see animals in a happy environment and take away something from that.
So whether it's to celebrate your 90th birthday or visit farm for the first time, this kind of treat would be hard to beat. Llama Christina, CBJ News.
One of our most famous attractions could undergo a multi-million-pound revamp, which is set to be completed within the next 3 years. It is hoped this will bring more tourists to the city and boost the economy. Our reporter Arat Pandya went to find out more.
The iconic landmark of our city, the Nottingham Castle, is ready to bid for a revamp this year. The castle is already the main attraction of the city for the visitors and the residents, but it aims to be better and better. The project is estimated at £24 million and expected revamp is completing by the end of 2019. This plan is possible if the Castle Trust is able to win the token of about £13 million in July this year. Nottingham City Council has promised for £5.5 million and the rest of the money is going to be fundraised.
And we are trying our best, for the tourists to come along and, whatever we can do to help them. And Nottingham Castle always tries to do more for the castle and, try to bring more tourists in. It's going to be wonderful, for the Nottingham city again, because we go back 18th century, and it's going to do a wonderful thing.
We'll be creating a brand new Robin Hood gallery. It won't be visible architectural change. What will happen is we currently have an underused staff car park area which we're going to roof over and create an entrance through a tunnel, and this will become the new Robin Hood gallery, which at the moment we do have a very small area of the castle dedicated to Robin Hood, but it's really not meeting visitors' expectations. So we visualise there'll be a central storytelling area, kind of like an amphitheatre where people will be able to learn about the legends and ballads of our local hero, and along one side of the courtyard there'll be 4 coach arches where people will be able to undertake interactive full-body games such as virtual archery or fighting Little John across the stream. It's very different. Nottingham Castle is something different to lots of different people. For international tourists, which about 25% of our current visitor population are international tourists, they've really heard of Nottingham Castle through Disney, through films, through the Robin Hood legends, so there's that expectation. There's also people who live in Nottingham. I think they want to understand more of Nottingham's history.
Nottingham Castle holds an important role not just in the city but in all over the country. This is where the hangings relating to signing of Magna Carta occurred and fights for democratic rights happened in 1831. At this stage, the plan seems to be going smooth and the Trust is confident in adding up further charms to our city's main attraction. Arat Pandya, CBJ News.
And there's more good news for tourism as architecture students are set to work on a new project to bring a welcome centre to a Nottinghamshire country park. This will complete the transformation of a former coal mine. Our reporter, Manat Chandil, has more.
Here in Nottingham's Gedling Country Park, second-year architectural technology students are planning on building a visitation centre. This idea is funded by Friends of Gedling Country Park, where not only students but family members, elderly can all enjoy a day out. Let's see how this project pans out.
I used to come up here when it wasn't a park, when it was just barren ground. And now there's a lot more people coming up because it's nice. You can see all different wildlife up here. You come up at the right time. So I think people will benefit from it, especially people who are older people.
Yes.
You know, it's nice to somewhere for them to come.
This former coal mining site has been refurbished into a spacious park. In the long run, there are plans of making the site more attractive for the people of Nottingham.
The main aim of the park is to bring together the local community, the surrounding community, and the park's visitors, because the surrounding residential areas of the Gedling Country Park is to undergo a few housing developments. So the Friends really wanted to take this on board and have the park welcome the local surrounding community and the park's visitors as well.
They wanted to introduce a welcome centre into the park, which could welcome people. They came to us to get some ideas, some illustrations, some renders, some material, so they can think about what they want to put on the park.
Like he's talking about the space and what you guys have incorporated in the visitation centre, what's the main idea and how is it going to pan out?
Initially, moving forward with the project, the Friends visited one of our lecturers and gave us a brief description as to what they were looking for. So we then, as designers, broke down the design process into 3 main points, which we broke into were natural lighting, historical acknowledgement, and aesthetic beauty. The park is a steel frame structure that incorporates a lot of natural local materials such as timber, and the planned space of the park incorporates a very open, natural planned space cafeteria, and it also incorporates ranger quarters, a conference room for the Friends to carry their meetings, and an outdoor decking area. The park also incorporates a lot of glazing to give an outward view of the local greenery.
Oh, so you're saying not only it's for Nottingham, for the people of Nottingham, as well as it's for the people closer to Gedling as they can enjoy it all.
Yes,
And
yes.
has anyone yet come and seen the project as to what's going on with the viewing regarding the...
So we presented our ideas to the Gedling Country Park, and the community also came along as well. They liked our idea, they were very interested, and we're just going from there, really.
Well, that's good. Thank you very much, guys, and hope the plan works out.
And now for the sports news across the East Midlands.
The glory days of Brian Clough's era have ended, and there has been a shift in the East Midlands footballing power. Just 25 miles up the road from Nottingham, Leicester City are 5 points clear at the summit of the Premier League, with 4 games left. So what do people of Nottingham think of Leicester's chances?
I think Leicester got a good chance if they can sort of, obviously not drop any more points, keep Vardy on the pitch, obviously he's banned at a minute, and just sort of be resolute. I mean, they've not let that many goals in the past 6 or 7 games, so sort of keep a tight ship, and Wes Morgan will lead them to the Championship.
Well, it's been an amazing season, considering where we were this time last year. Actually top of the league and still 5 points clear. I hope we go on to do it. Tottenham are getting a bit scary, but as long as we can just win enough to get there, it'll be the most amazing season in football ever for Leicester City.
Spurs do have a huge chance of winning because they have shown they are the better team than Leicester are, because they've scored more goals than any other team in the Premier League, considered less than any other team in the Premier League.
We would like to hear your opinion, and you can vote on Leicester City's chance in our Twitter online poll at NTU Nots Tonight.
That's all we've got time for on tonight's show. Thanks for joining us. Good night.